Welcome to Book to Blueprint, where powerful books become practical blueprints for real life. You do not need more information, you need execution. This is Book to Blueprint. All right, today we are tearing apart Tony Robbins' Money Master the Game to give you a straight up actionable blueprint. Look, this isn't about theory, okay? This is a cheat sheet for execution. We have one single goal here to give you a clear, step by step plan you can use to create a guaranteed lifetime income stream. Let's get into it. Seriously, just stop and think about that for a second. What if you could build a financial engine, a machine? It just generates income for you 24/7, whether you're at work, on vacation, or totally passed out. It sounds like a fantasy, right? But that is the core promise of the system we're going to build today. So let's start with the end in mind, the core outcome. Let's be totally crystal clear about the goal. The entire point of this whole blueprint is to build a system that gives you a reliable, guaranteed stream of income for the rest of your life. That's it. That's the destination we're heading for, real financial freedom. So how do we actually get there? Well, it all starts with this one big idea. It's a fundamental shift in how you think. You have to go from being just a consumer in the economy, trading your time for money so you can buy stuff, to becoming an owner, an investor who makes their money work for them. And this right here, this is that money machine we were talking about. Think of it like your own personal business. You decide on a percentage of what you earn and you just consistently feed it. You keep feeding this machine until it hits what's called critical mass. And that is the magic tipping point where the machine itself generates enough income to cover your lifestyle forever. Now, every game has rules, and believe me, this one is no different. You should think of these as the operating system for your money, the core, unbreakable, non-negotiable principles that drive the whole strategy. If you get these right, everything else just kind of falls into place. And here they are, the three big laws. Law number one, and this is the most important, don't lose money. Protecting what you have is everything. We'll see why in a second. Number two, automate everything. This is so critical because it takes your emotions and your human error right out of the equation. And third, diversify effectively. It's really the only free lunch in investing, the one proven way to lower your risk without killing your potential returns. And this right here is why law number one is so damn important. Just look at this. If you lose 50% of your money, you don't need to make 50% back to get even. No, you need a 100% gain. You have to double your money just to get back to where you started. That's why playing defense is 10 times more important than offense. The math of trying to recover from a big loss is just absolutely brutal. Okay, we've got the big idea. We've got the rules. Now for the really good part, the assembly instructions. This is the exact step-by-step plan for actually building your financial freedom machine. So this is the 7-step roadmap. It all starts with making a real commitment. Then you got to know the rules of the game and debunk the myths, like the lies about fees we'll get to later. Step 3 is about making the game winnable for you by setting clear goals. 4 is asset allocation, basically deciding where to put your money. 5 is creating the plan to turn it all into income. 6 is copying the strategies of the best in the world. And 7, well, that's the whole point, to finally act, enjoy, and share your success. Let's start with step 1, because this is probably the most important financial decision you will ever make. You have to pick a number, 10%, 15%, 20%, whatever it is, and you make a decision that that percentage of every dollar you ever earn is not yours to spend. It goes straight into your freedom fund. You set up an automatic transfer. It's non-negotiable. This becomes the fuel for your machine. Now let's look at step 3, making the game winnable. You can't hit a target you can't see, right? So this number here, $2,500 a month, it's just an example of a financial security number. That's the monthly income you'd need to cover the bare basics. Your mortgage, your food, your car, your utilities. You have to sit down and calculate your own number. You need to know exactly what target you're aiming for. All right, step 4 is asset allocation. Sounds complicated, but it just means deciding where your money goes. The whole strategy is to split your investments into 2 main buckets. You've got the security bucket for your safe, reliable stuff that gives you peace of mind. And then you have the risk/growth bucket. That's for investments with the potential for much higher returns, but yeah, they come with more ups and downs. The whole secret is finding the right balance between these two for you. Okay, so once your machine is built and running on autopilot, it doesn't need you checking on it every day. But it does need a little bit of simple scheduled maintenance. These are the recurring habits that are going to keep your engine running perfectly for the rest of your life. And the maintenance is honestly, It's so simple. The first two steps, deciding on your percentage and automating it, you do that once. You set it and you forget it. So your savings are just happening in the background. The only thing you have to do is rebalance your portfolio once a year. That's it. You just check to see if your buckets are still at their target percentages and you make a few small tweaks. That's all. It keeps you from getting too risky or too conservative. And finally, to protect everything you're building, we need to go through the troubleshooting guide. These are the really common traps and the myths out there that can completely wreck your plan if you fall for them. Oh, here's the biggest myth on Wall Street: the promise to beat the market. Everyone says they can do it, but the data doesn't lie. Over 96% of so-called professional fund managers fail to beat the market over any real length of time. So you end up paying them huge fees for performance that almost never actually shows up. And what about those fees? They'll tell you, oh, it's just 1%, 2%. It's a small price for our genius. But you have to see the truth. Because of compounding working against you, that tiny fee doesn't just skim a little off the top. It devours your returns. Over your lifetime, a 2% fee can literally steal more than 60% of your portfolio's potential. It's insane. And the last great myth we have to bust is that to get rich, you have to take these giant speculative risks. It is the absolute opposite of the truth. The most successful investors on this planet are completely obsessed with one thing more than anything else: not losing money. They get it. They know that protecting their capital is the foundation that all their future growth is built on. And that pretty much brings us right to the end. You know, this entire blueprint, everything we've talked about, is completely worthless if it just stays as an idea in your head. The only thing that creates results is action. So the goal now is to stop the discussion, stop the endless learning, and start executing. This game is completely 100% winnable. Now it's your move. If you have a book in mind that should be added to our list, comment below. If this blueprint helped you, subscribe, like, and build with us. More blueprints are coming. Stay intentional, stay consistent. We are doing this one book at a time. And remember, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So share this with them and grow together. Real progress becomes stronger when it is shared. Build your life one blueprint at a time. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you do.